You don't have to be a wrestling fan. 20,000 people with that reaction gives you goosebumps.
Oh my God, I don't know if I'd rather be a fan in the stands or the wrestler walking into all of that.
It's like, how do you sleep after that?
I don't know.
If you're CM Punk, how do you even go to bed?
You don't. You just go home and you go, all night.
Exactly.
I had goosebumps just watching the crowd reaction.
Exactly. We welcome you to Sports Nation. Ros Gold-Onwude, Ardo Cal. We are here with you on a beautiful Monday because we had a lot of sports. We got to unpack a lot.
Absolutely.
And professional wrestling, and I couldn't think of anyone better to dive into it than our very own Mark Raimondi with legit questions that both Mark Raimondi and Ros Gold-Onwude have been on Sports Nation today. You guys have a high school connection, don't you?
We sure do. Archbishop Malloy in Queens, New York.
Yep. Shout out to Queens, Archbishop Malloy Stannard.
Oh my God.
All right. Let's
Y'all
talk.
are cool for that. They didn't tell me they were gonna do that.
All right, let's talk wrestling. Mark, listen, let's start with CM Punk. That's the one that many wrestling fans have been anticipating 7 years in the making. He chooses AEW. There he is, cutting a promo in the middle of the ring. Wrestling fans go absolutely bonkers. Legit question for you. I think that a lot of people would say this is legit, but I'd like you to quantify this. CM Punk is a game changer for AEW.
2010, and beyond, the return, and it seems like this could be a pivotal moment right now for AEW.
All right, Mark. So I got one, and let me know if this is a legit question because Punk was not the only return this weekend. All right. The man Becky Lynch, also Brock Lesnar, returned to the WWE at SummerSlam on Saturday. So, legit question or not, can they get the WWE back on track?
Okay, Ros. Well, since we're fellow Stanners, I have to shut you down. We like to rib each other. We like to mess with each other. That is not a legit question.
Now, this is bizarro world for me because usually I'm the one with the not legit questions. I think it's the high school connection, playful ribbing here. I think that's what's happening here. We'll get back on track next time, I'm quite sure. Okay, let me ask you. So, Ros and I were actually talking about how we were, big wrestling fans growing up. Mark, we talked about this over the weekend as well. Like, we watched wrestling growing up. We loved it. Obviously, a lot of people remember the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. And so, legit question or not, we are on the precipice in the pro wrestling space right now, for something that we haven't seen since that time.
I'm completely thrown here. Maybe it's the early time of the morning, but Arda, that is a legit question. Again, you nailed it. It's true. I really do think this is going to got that period of time going, and someone like CM Punk can kind of ignite that, can kind of be the catalyst.
You know what? It's still an amazing announcement. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You better smile no matter what. Years from now, y'all will laugh about this. But Dad.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God. Dorky Dad.
I mean, and can you imagine, Dad taking kid to practice his entire life? This is a big moment for him, too. And he feels bad as a parent that he just ruined his son's moment to make the announcement.
How about the commentator who, had to, try to bring it all back together? He was like, well, let's get the hat out, son. Where you going?
Unbelievable. Well, anyway, like you said, Ros, news, and it's fitting.
You have a, intro segment to this now?
I do.
Wow, you are big time.
I made it finally. I'm glad that you're here for this, actually, because you and I are the resident NFT nerds at ESPN.
Definite nerds.
Yes, we are. And we actually have some breaking NFT news exclusive to Sports Nation. Who is the next series victory when the team was in Brooklyn, highlighted by a Sandy Amaros catch priced at $32. So I love this. And by the way, it's going to be Vince Scully, NFT.com, dropping on Tuesday. I love the one-of-one premium NFT, followed by the people are using to drop NFTs. But I think this is a good opportunity to break down the NFT scene. It was wide stream, etc. Where are we with the NFT scene today?
Quietly, steadily, back on the rise. It definitely, to hit a valley, slowed down a bit as far as people coming in, money being made, returns on the investment, but now it's back up. And I think that's natural for crypto in general, just to go up and down. More importantly, I would focus on, NFTs that are building communities, friendships, giving you great utility and access and status. That Vince Scully NFT is dope. There's major utility. You get to meet him and go to a game, and then you've got this piece of art that he gave you as well.
NBA Top Shot.
I think it's one of the most amazing communities to be a part of in the NFT world. I think it's long-term vision. They're showing incredible utility. They just were at NBA Summer League giving special access to NBA players and experiences to their collectors. I mean, I think it's booming. And it's one of the NFT communities that I'm most excited about and happy to be a part of. So definitely bullish long-term on NBA Top Shot.
You and I are going to have an NFT podcast on ESPN one day. I feel it.
Let's do it.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely love seeing EDD back, and she mentioned getting those butterflies. And one thing that athletes and many people use when they have those butterflies to combat that is that Mamba mentality, which brings us to a birthday. Happy 43rd to Kobe Bryant. Surely missed around the world today as we think about him and his life and his impact. Now, I haven't had a chance to meet him one-on-one. I've been in several meets with Kobe Bryant, but I'd love to hear your story with Kobe.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I just want to take the time to give continued condolences and wish strength to his family, who publicly always has to kind of mourn it as we celebrate and tell stories year after year. But, I got to meet Kobe. It was actually my first ever time doing a national game as a sideline reporter. It was the Lakers versus the Pelicans. It was Kobe's final year, the farewell tour. He was having a vintage game, a vintage Mamba game. And as the minutes were wearing on in the game, I was starting to realize I'm about to interview Kobe Bryant. It was my first time meeting him, and I was so nervous, but let's take a listen. Kobe in that moment where, it's about him, it's about his team, but he's a savant and is aware that this young and up-and-coming reporter is in her first national game. And he said congrats in the interview. Later on the side, gave me some more words of encouragement. It meant so much, and we were able to continue to develop a relationship after that. But just so cool to be seen by Kobe.
Athletes don't have to do that. They don't have to acknowledge us as media members. We're just doing our job, right? But for him to do that for you and to acknowledge and say you've...
He is, and he always respected anybody that's going hard at their craft. So I think he could respect, game recognizing game.
Yeah, and you know what game it is? Us coming back tomorrow on SportsNation. Real recognize real.
Yep.
So we're gonna be back Tuesday. SportsNation, thanks for watching this episode. We will see you tomorrow.
Oh, are we doing this?
No, I just...